Baroness Christine Blower, Co-Convenor of the Freedom for Ocalan Campaign UK and patron of the Peace in Kurdistan Campaign. Thanks for joining us today.
I'm very pleased to be with you, Erem. Very pleased indeed.
Thank you. How do you view the conditions of Öcalan's health? What is Turkish state aiming by isolating Mr. Öcalan?
Well, this has been a very long time, hasn't it? And the state of Mr. Ocalan's incarceration is not just immoral and unacceptable. It's also a breach of international law. To have been held incommunicado without visits from his family, from his lawyers for so long is clearly a breach of international law. It's inhumane and simply has to change.
Secondly, during the peace negotiations, as you know, between the Kurdish movement and the Turkish state, talks were held together with Öcalan on Imralı Island. What do you think is the importance of Öcalan for peaceful resolution of the Kurdish question?
Well, of course, this is both an international question, but it's also a question for the Kurds, and it's clear to me as an observer and as someone who has been engaged in the Kurdish question that the freedom for Öcalan is central to the question of the resolution of the Kurdish question, and we must therefore continue to redouble our efforts to make sure not just that the peace process gets back on track, but that that Öcalan is central to it. He is the great thinker about the Kurdish question. He's a philosopher, he's a politician, and he is held certainly by the Kurds whom I know to be the leader of the possibility of there being a resolution. So he is absolutely critical.
What do you think about Öcalan's ideas and his commitment to the peace in the region? As you know, the democratic confederalism is a new system, is a way to build a new life for humanity. Do you think democratic confederalism really will work for the democratic system in the world?
Well, I think this is. I think it's quite extraordinary. I mean, people who don't know as much, even as I do, about Abdullah Öcalan, and of course I know very little compared with many people. The idea that he has been able to develop this notion of democratic centralism, democratic confederalism, while he has been in prison, is utterly remarkable. And it seems to me, having read about it and having thought about it, that this is absolutely a new way forward and is something which should be given deep and serious consideration by anyone who thinks about the importance of peace, not just for the Kurds, but in the whole region. It's easy to read about, it's complicated to understand, but it is remarkable that democratic confederalism has been developed by Öcalan in his present conditions.
Thank you. Since Öcalan imprisonment, there has been a global campaign for freedom for Öcalan, as you are one of the co-founders. What do you think about this campaign and its importance for achieving peace in the region?
Well, of course, many will be downcast by the fact that even though this is a campaign that has been going on for 2 decades, that it hasn't achieved its resolution, which would be, of course, to have peace for Öcalan. But the fact is that the Turkish state has not managed to silence Abdullah Öcalan and has not managed to silence the international initiative for his freedom. So we must keep continuing to raise the issue because I believe that Abdullah Öcalan is central to the question of the resolution of the Kurdish question. And therefore, I will continue to work with the international initiative and the campaigns in Britain.
Dear Christine Blower, Baroness and co-founder of the Freedom for Ocalan Campaign UK, thanks for joining us. Thank you for your comments today.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thanks.